Hi, so this week's topic is going into business with others. So we've talked a little bit about solopreneurs, people who run a business completely on their own. I'm one of them. I have no partners. It's just me doing everything. Well, at least making all the decisions. Other people help me. I do outsource. But it's not uncommon for you to go into business with one or two or even a handful of other people. People can come together, bring their shared gifts and talents to the business, spread out the cost, and spread out the responsibility. So, totally normal, not bad, but you have to have a written agreement. And you have to have talked through the issues that can arise with a business partnership before you start it and make sure that your discussions are memorialized in this agreement. So, these operating agreements go by a number of different names. Your corporations have bylaws and management agreements. Your LLCs have operating agreements, and your partnerships have partnership agreements. But no matter what, your business partnership agreement should cover these things. First, the capital contributions. How much money is each partner putting into the business? Is this an initial contribution? Is it ongoing? And is it a contribution or a loan? Next, the individual limits of what each partner can do. Who has management responsibilities? Who runs day-to-day? Who runs back office? Who's there just to help you vote on big decisions? Can a single member sign a contract? If they can, what's the dollar limit? Is there a different limit for when it's a vendor or a loan or a new customer agreement? Next, what happens when you want to change either the operating agreement, the business, or the members? Sometimes you want to admit a new member. Sometimes one member wants to leave the business partnership. How is this dealt with? Does the company have a right of first refusal on the membership shares, or do the other members? Is a member allowed to do this without approval? Next, what happens when someone is divorced, disabled, or dies? Now, just because someone's divorced doesn't mean that they lose their partnership shares, but in Texas, with our common law property system, the ex-spouse could have rights, and this can get really messy, and it's something you want to address in your operating agreement. And then if someone is disabled or dies and can no longer participate in the company, what happens? Does the company stick around and the other members divide out their responsibility, or does the company dissolve? This is really something that has to be decided by the partners. I have businesses that do it different ways. Some businesses say, yes, we want to continue, we'll figure out how to redistribute those shares. Other businesses say, no, this partnership is what makes the business, and if one of us is disabled or dies, the business is going away. The remaining person can figure out if they want to continue in a different shape, but the business is us. And then finally, what leads to company dissolution? In Texas and many other states, LLCs and corporations are presumed to be perpetual, meaning they can last as long as they last until they are actively dissolved. So what leads to that? Is it bankruptcy of the company or the individual members? Is it death or disability of all the members? There's a number of different ways you can deal with it, but it needs to be memorialized. So outside your agreement, there's one other thing that you really should think about before you start this partnership with someone. Do you like them? And do you know why they're in this, what the reason is they're in this business? So taking a step back, look at it like a marriage. You're going to be spending a lot of time with this person, communicating with them, having to make decisions with them, and having conflict with them. How are you going to deal with it? They don't have to be your best friend, they don't have to be your spouse, but can you deal with them on a regular basis? And then, do you know why they're entering into this business? Is this going to be something they put 110% into, or is it a side gig? Do they want to run the day-to-day, or do they want to sit back and be a passive investor? Neither of those options is better or worse, but it's important that you understand what they want and they understand what you want so that there's no disagreements down the road about someone contributing more or less. So again, very important to have a written operating agreement and to have talked about some of the issues that might arise prior to entering into this business. Feel free to reach out to me via email, kelsey@schaffnerpllc.com, or here on my Instagram or other social media at schaffnerpllc. I have several different template operating agreements that I can work through with you. My process is to set up a meeting with all the partners to talk through the issues and then create a operating agreement that works for everyone. And hi, welcome Boulder, Schaffner Consulting's official doc. Have a great week.